For more than 175 years, the mineral deposits at Dorket Head have provided the raw material for brick making. Until well into the 19th century, most brick kilns were temporary structures, but in the 1860s, the Robinsons, a prominent local family, industrialized the process by developing the forerunner to the existing factory. In 1897, the works were purchased by the Nottingham Patent Brick Company, who were to operate the site for the next 90 years and supply the bricks for some of the area's most iconic buildings. The works were significantly redeveloped in the 1960s, with new buildings and ultimately 4 tunnel kilns. Ownership then quickly passed through several hands until the factory was acquired in 1995 by Ibstock Brick, the UK's largest brick manufacturer. A year later, the company completed a major redevelopment programme, making Dorket Head one of the largest and most efficient clay brick factories in the UK. From the mid-90s to date, over £15 million has been invested in a programme of ongoing development to ensure that the factory remains at the forefront of modern brick-making technology. The manufacturing process at Dorket Head begins when, for 6 to 8 weeks each year, clay is extracted from the quarry located east of Calverton Road. The best clays for manufacture are then selected and stockpiled before being transported to the factory when required on a conveyor belt, avoiding the use of lorries on the public highway. Clay is initially crushed and tempered with water in a process called extrusion to achieve a softer consistency. Once shaped, the bricks are dried in tunnel dryers before being set onto cars ready for firing in the kiln. Finally, the bricks are transferred to pallets, ready for storage and dispatch in the stockyard. The factory has the capacity to produce 85 million bricks annually, which is over 5% of the national brick product market and equates to 12,100 homes. A significant proportion of the bricks are used within a radius of 80 miles. But it's not just in shaping townscapes that local brickmaking has an impact. It's a mainstay of the local economy, with over 70 people directly employed at Dorket Head. Many times that number depend for their livelihood on contracts which Ibstock issues to local suppliers. Add-on rates paid and services purchased, and over £3.5 million flows into the community each year. But now the factory's future is uncertain. Clay deposits in the existing quarry will run out in a decade. While that may seem a long way ahead, it's not enough to guarantee continued investment in the factory. Ibstock Brick has already identified an area adjacent to the quarry called the Eastern Extension. It could provide a further 10 years of clay supply using the established conveyor system. Without the extension, some 200,000 tonnes of clay a year would need to be transported from further afield by road, creating an unnecessary impact on the environment. Consultation on the extension was originally conducted in 2010. The proposal then included restoration by landfill. Now, having responded to comments and to a change in government regulations over the long-term reduction of landfill, restoration by landfill is no longer part of the plan for the Eastern Extension. In the new proposal, low-level restoration would use natural clays and soil to shape the land and merge the extension with the surroundings. This process will actually reduce the amount of tipping in the adjacent landfill, as it will be integrated with the low-level restoration design. As part of previous planning consents, large areas of woodland have been created for screening. They now form a prominent feature of the Arnold skyline. If permission is granted for the Eastern Extension, further woodland and hedgerows will be planted in the first available planting season to progressively screen activities in the extension from view. The completed restoration will include a network of new permissive footpaths to add to the amenity of the area. In total, 1,225 metres of hedgerow and 3 acres of woodland will be created. Granting permission for the extension would be in line with the government's national planning policy framework. It states that minerals are essential to support sustainable economic growth and our quality of life. Planning authorities should plan for a steady and adequate supply of industrial minerals. At least 25 years for brick clay. With permission for the extension granted, the proud tradition of brickmaking at Dorket Head, ongoing investment in plant, employment, and the benefits it brings to the local economy would be secured.